Hello, everybody. Welcome to Attack of the Show. I'm Kevin Blair. My guest host today, the lovely, the talented Sarah Underwood.
We're coming to you from the G4 Studios in Los Angeles, right, Kim?
I think so. Is that where we are right now? Sweet. On the show today, Adam Corello tells us about his new book, In 50 Years, We'll All Be Chicks. And he also tells us all the problems with America today. Then we'll show off the Droid Pro during Gadget Pron's holiday gift guide. Trust me, before you buy a cell phone as a gift, you need to see this review.
Then Adam Sessler joins us to talk about the dark Disney game Epic Mickey on Game Break. And you will never look at lipstick the same way again after today's WTF. Yes, people eat lipstick, but to make sexy time.
Yeah, I stopped wearing it altogether.
But first, we're going to take a look at the best the web had to offer this week, which for some reason included a lot of vomiting.
Yeah. Thanksgiving overeating, perhaps, I don't know. But today's Around the Net features some nerve-induced reverse digestion.
Yeah.
Also some really angry otters.
Ooh.
Yeah. Hey! Okay, listen. I have an observation.
Okay.
Nobody likes shop class, right?
I mean, it's the easiest class, but sure.
Right, but nobody likes it. Even the teachers don't like shop class.
Until something like this happens.
Here, go ahead, Mom. Get my foot out of it. Get my foot out of
Such grace under pressure.
My birdhouse has an ankle in it. Listen, foot crush videos. You're doing it wrong.
I invoke Rule 34. If it exists, there's porn of it.
I respectfully withdraw my position,
I
Sarah.
knew you would.
Mixed martial artists. I would say they're some of the most in shape, intense athletes on the planet. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Thank you. Their bodies and their minds are finely tuned machines that inflict pain and destruction on their opponents. Would you also agree?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But you know what? Like all machines, sometimes they have malfunctions, little ones.
It was a very forceful stream.
Absolutely.
Very powerful stream.
Was that his blood or the other guy's?
I don't know, but why save the powerful vomit ray to after the fight?
Right? I would use it during the fight.
Yes! Guys on top of you, ground and pound, just give him a little burst.
Makes you all slippery. He can't hold on to you anymore.
Kimura tip. Right out.
All right, so in this shocking report, South Florida's WPTV News brings you an important reminder. Nature is a terrible place, filled with things that want to kill and eat you.
Yes, like otters.
An otter attack in suburban Boca Raton.
And in a story you'll see only on 5, we found the young man and spoke with him today. William Gibbons came home to an empty house, so he waited outside for his parents.
I'm walking through my backyard and I see this otter laying on the grass. And so I just started observing it and gets out of the water and bites me.
Surprisingly, William was able to catch the whole attack with his camera phone.
I don't think that's a reaction that anyone wants to hear.
Thankfully, William was able to ruin his sex life forever with his camera phone.
Today's number 2 comes to us from San Diego 6. Now, this is evidence that something we all know, I think, here. Live TV sometimes requires you to check your dignity at the stage door.
Yeah, absolutely. One of San Diego Live's attractive news types demonstrates a turkey calling contraption. It's very enjoyable.
One way to do a turkey call is with this gobbler, and it has a little diaphragm in it that allows the air to vibrate. You should try that.
I would love to.
Go ahead.
Right.
I want to see this. No. That just wasn't right.
Hold on. Morgan.
Yes, Kevin. Go ahead.
Morgan.
Yeah.
Yes, Kevin?
Looks like she really blows at turkey calling.
That's good punishment.
Should we explain it or let it be?
Just let it be.
Okay. Today's number one item comes to us from the Spanish television station TV Salud.
Now, you know, we know that live TV can be a little nerve-wracking. So
Sure.
even if you're not used to it, but
Yeah.
sometimes it can even be tough for the audience watching.
Agreed. Pay special attention to the ladies sitting on the end of the row at this taping of Saber Vivir. Unless you've just eaten something, then don't watch.
Digamos que hoy en día es el tratamiento estrella de relleno por dos motivos fundamentales. El ácido hialurónico es un componente natural de la piel, es decir, que realmente estás inyectando algo que aunque se sintetice en laboratorio es un producto natural, y luego porque es un relleno que se llama reversible, es decir, que progresivamente se elimina.
Dios mío!
I love the woman who's just like this. And why did she have a barf bag there? She's at a talk show. Did she know she was going to be sick?
Yeah, I don't know if that was an actual barf bag or if like half of her salad, like lunch was in there or something like that, or if she had like half a sandwich or something. But here's a helpful tip on live TV. Once you vomited into a plastic bag on camera, it's okay to leave. What do we got? What do we got?
Today's number one is a new commercial for the Logitech Review with Google TV.
Yeah, it's a device that lets you search for media across both your TV and the web. So if you happen to be like the world's biggest Kevin Bacon fan, you can be sure you'll see every second there is to see of the Baconator.
My favorite actor? Oh, that's easy. Kevin Bacon, obviously. His best movie is probably a tie between all of them. I do a Kevin Bacon impression. This valley just one long smorgasbord. They're under the ground. It's Tremors. It's me and Kevin. I've never actually met him. I had it commissioned. Am I obsessed with Kevin Bacon? I don't know. Obsessed is a strong word. I think I'm a devoted fan. So let's just say I happen to be in the mood for, I don't know, a movie about a rebellious teen who's living in a town where dancing is illegal. There it is. Yeah, my wife says if I watch any more Kevin Bacon, I might actually turn into Kevin Bacon.
That is so good.
I know, it's usually sad when like a big time actor starts pimping stuff, but it was kind of good.
Agreed. I love the character, and I think he nailed it.
Mordor is unfathomable.
Oh, yeah, Dom, it's the Eye of Sauron. It's been a while. What's up, Eye?
The armies of Sauron seethe with unquenchable fury. Why has FIFA awarded the 2022 World Cup to Qatar and not Mordor?
I'm sorry, you're mad about the announcement of the World Cup venue?
It's not just me, Kevin. All of darkest Mordor cries out in rage over this injustice. Look, I know the World Cup is being held in more and more awful locations every 4 years, but what? Mordor's not terrible enough for you?
I'm not sure that that's what they're looking for.
Sure, Qatar's a sand-blasted wasteland with temperatures reaching 120 degrees. But does it have the soul-searing volcanoes of Mordor? No! All Qatar has are the world's most expensive traffic tickets. Please, that's kid stuff.
Okay, but I gotta ask, Eye, does anyone even play soccer in Mordor?
Do we play soccer? Do we play soccer? Why do you think I'm wearing this bitchin' authentic Team Mordor FIFA jersey? Kevin, do you know how many soccer stadiums are in Qatar?
I don't.
One! I had my orc army tear down all the trees in Isengard to build stadiums as far as my all-seeing eye could gaze. Now what am I supposed to tell the Uruk-hai? To take up cricket? That sport is lame!
Okay, look, I hear what you're saying, I think Sarah does too, but what do you want us to do about it?
Yeah.
I only want FIFA Executive Committee members to know that they will be hunted by my fearsome ring wraith until terror completely envelops their souls.
Okay.
Unless Putin is around. I don't mess with that guy.
Okay, well, fair enough. Thank you, Eye of Sauron.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
All right. Let no one stand in the way of my goal! Sorry.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to use that one all day.
Yeah, thanks, Eye.
Bye, Kevin.
Okay, see you, buddy.
Bye, Sarah.
Okay, bye.
I'll be seeing you.
Yeah.
Coming up, Blair Herter climbs a 26-foot-high ice wall for your amusement.
Find out if he lives or dies right after this.
We'll be right back.
The new Droid Pro promises the full Android experience with a few extra bells and whistles for productivity.
Yes, it's the review du jour in today's holiday gift guide. The Pro in the new Motorola Droid Pro stands for Progeria. Fun fact.
Means professional.
Right, what did I say?
Never mind.
Verizon and Motorola are giving the gift of a totally unique Android phone this December, the Droid Pro. Incorporating a full-size keyboard and multi-touch display, this phone is geared for productivity. But that doesn't mean you can't have fun too. Thousands of apps are available in the Android market, and you'll get a 5-megapixel camera. Droid does business and pleasure for $20 with a contract. Angry Bird?
Angry Birds.
Yeah, I got caught playing it right before the promo. So whoops. Thanks, Holiday Levels.
All right, so back.
Yeah. What does the home screen look like, Morgan? There it is.
Let's talk about the Office productivity software. This actually looks and feels a lot like a BlackBerry. It has the full keyboard,
Important for Angry Birds, yes.
Which a lot of people really have wanted. It has a 3.1-inch screen. It's a little smaller than the normal Android screens you're going to see. Very slim. It does have this little protrusion at the top, but it's minor, whatever.
Bump. It happens.
Love bump. Weighs about as much as an iPhone, which of course is not much. So what do you think of the design?
I think it's totally fine. It works. If you need a full screen or a full QWERTY keyboard, you're good to go. I have some issues with the screen, which we'll get to in a second. But it feels sturdy. It feels solid. And my friends that actually have this phone, they're in love with it already.
Right, and they obviously had to sacrifice a little bit of the screen real estate for the keyboard.
They did. Yeah.
Is it too small?
Well, it's not bad. It feels like there's just enough room to comfortably use it. It's actually one of the most responsive screens that we've used on an Android device. We'll give them that. It feels like using an iDevice, if you will. There's support for multi-touch, which you gotta have. The resolution could use some work though. Okay, it's on the low side, 320 by 480. Contrast that with the iPhone, which is 960 by 640, and you realize not a whole lot of pixels on this thing. It's pretty, it's vibrant, but things do feel a little crammed.
But if it also is able to work a little bit faster because it has a lower resolution, it might be, it could potentially be a good trade-off.
Yeah, and the device is fast, which we'll get to as well. Yeah.
So the keyboard, is it BlackBerry good keyboard? Because people love them some BlackBerry keyboards.
Yeah, yes, they do. It's a cult of personality. They do love it, and for the most part, the keyboard's great. It feels like the BlackBerry Tours keyboard because of the raised edges on the keys, which for most is a good thing. For me, I don't like that they're sort of beveled in opposite directions. It's like my right thumb wants to press on a certain part of the key, but my left wants to press on a different part, so to speak.
I feel like that is something that you would get used to.
Absolutely would get used to it. Absolutely would get used to it. I'm saying it's not going to convert me to a hardware keyboard if you're a software keyboard kind of person.
Right.
The keys, again, they're also a little close together, which might be a problem for giant thumbs. But overall, we like typing on it.
Do you have giant thumbs?
It worked. No, I have piano-playing fingers, as my mom used to say, to not make me feel like a lady.
It also does not have the on-screen keyboard on it. So
Correct.
If you do like the on-screen keyboard, you're not going to be able to landscape it and use it that way.
Yeah.
You're going to have to use the hardware keyboard. So now, of course, it runs on the latest version of Android, 2.2. So let's talk a little bit about the speed. We mentioned it a little bit earlier. But
Very important.
Is it just as fast as other smartphones?
Yes, it is. It absolutely is. When launching games or apps, it's just as fast as the iPhone or the Droid X. In some cases, it's actually faster. By far, one of the quickest smartphones we've used yet. So kudos on the speed department.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about browsing, actually browsing the internet, because that's the main thing that you want this for.
People love this internet thing. They like browsing it on their wireless devices.
There's this thing called the internet.
Yeah, and it does it. It's online.
Yeah, but you know, pinching, zooming, it's not.
It's a little tight. The screen's small. Again, the resolution's not that great. So you're going to be doing a lot of pinching and zooming to see what's on the screen. But don't get us wrong. The browser is super fast, and it does run Flash, and it runs it well. So while you might be you might have to do a little extra navigation to get to things, you won't have to wait for the pages to render, which is, I think, a very important distinction.
And now the camera picture quality.
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
Pretty good, yeah. Outdoor pictures look good. Indoors, even with the flash, it's a little grainy. Video quality is not high def, which is kind of a bummer, but it'll do. You can take video on it.
I mean, how often are you really taking high def video on your phone?
I mean, not all that often, but when you do want to take video on your phone, it's nice to have it in high def.
No, that is true. Now, this phone actually comes standard with access to the Android market.
Yes.
It has over 100,000 apps, support for practically any email account you can possibly imagine, and DLNA streaming to devices like a TV or a PS3.
Also, it's going to work overseas. Keep that in mind, unlike a lot of Verizon phones. Slight drawback, it only has 2 gigs of internal memory, plus a 2 gig micro SD card, which means you're going to want to spring for a larger card if you want to do anything on your phone.
Absolutely, but don't worry too much about it because it's only $20
Yeah.
with a contract on Amazon's wireless site.
Right.
So what is it? Buy?
Yeah, $20, it's a buy.
Yeah.
Despite the small screen, it's a super fast productivity phone with a ton of perks. Go get one.
Still ahead, we'll show you some high-class Star Wars shirts on today's thread.
And later, I'll sit down with Adam Carolla to find out exactly what's wrong with everything today. But first, here's something that's wrong in and of itself. It's Drunkle Ted's sex advice.
Oh, no.
Hey, offenders. Attack of the Show posted my bail and sent me to Venice Beach, California to offer people sex advice. So strap on your rollerblades and let down your Speedos. Whee! This is Sex Man on the Beach.
Well, Uncle Ted, listen, I've been having, kind of some issues lately. When I'm in the middle of having, sex with my girl, sometimes I ate too much food before, and I know I'm not going to have a good time at the end. So what's the best course of action of getting out of there, dropping some heat, and coming back and finishing up?
It's all about presentation. What I would do is tell her that you make me so horny that before my front climaxes, my back has to climax. Excuse yourself and go to Browntown.
You're the man, Uncle Ted!
Good question, Poncherello. Like I always say, if I can touch just one person down there, it's been worth it. Everything else is just the sauce from that. I'll see you next time, 'cause I'm in your...
You know, sometimes we send our roving band of correspondents to exotic tropical locations.
But we make Blair Herter climb ice.
That's true.
As you can tell by the weather and the way that people are dressed, London is a warm and inviting place. So, when you need to exercise, what better place to do it than a freaking ice wall in the middle of the city? I can assure you, this is a terrible idea.
Since 2003, this indoor ice climbing location in Covent Garden has been the coolest place in London to learn the unique and challenging sport of ice climbing.
It was basically because it's not an ice climbing place, we decided we wanted to do something a bit different to draw people into the store. There's actually quite a lot of kind of mountaineers based here at the city and that kind of thing. So we just wanted to have something a bit different.
How did you build this thing? How do you maintain it?
It is -6 in there. It's essentially a giant freezer, it's 8 meters high. There's about 60 cubic tons of ice in there. We have behind it, there are some steel girders and some chains, and we then bonded the ice to it. And then every week we mix that with some water, climb back up, put some more on to give it another layer for you guys to climb on.
Cool, man. Let's do it. They give you their own clothes to wear because they want to keep you warm. I came in dressed warmly, so I think that's just code for we don't want you to get blood on your stuff, so here, wear ours.
Perfect. We're good to go.
Let's do it.
It's freezing in here. You can see at the top of this, we've got a bell. That is your goal. So, when you're on the rope, there's a point of no return. To get up there, we're going to teach you a simple 5-point technique. This is the body shape that we want to adopt throughout the whole climb, okay? My arms are 3/4 of my full reach. Up, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th one is to bring your hips into the wall, your shoulders back and kind of relax down into your feet, bend your knees a bit. How confident are we feeling?
I feel confident in your ability to belay me, but no confidence whatsoever in getting all the way up this thing.
Perfect.
Oh, that's in there.
That one's in. Okay, now feet. Look at your feet, whichever one's most comfortable. Good. Bring your heels a little bit higher. Perfect, like that. So it's still cutting in. Perfect. Okay, now hips into the wall. Drop your knees. You don't want to lock your knees. Your calves will burn.
Every ex-girlfriend ever. Was that good?
No. You got to hit again. A bit more with the wrist. Perfect. That one's in.
Holy, that's hard.
After an hour into my strenuous climb, my body was pushed to its limit. Fatigue, numbness, starting to set in. Yet I was determined to climb on, using my newly acquired skills.
We're gonna speed this up, right? To where it looks like I came up super fast?
So, I charged forward towards the elusive bell.
Well done! Okay. I feel like I just arm wrestled a hippopotamus. This is like one of the hardest things I've ever done. And now I feel justified in getting incredibly drunk because I just burned so many calories doing this. And that is how they exercise in London.
Disney to turn dark, we have some news that you are going to want to hear.
Yes, Celebration, Florida, the town that was actually built by Disney, has had its first murder, everybody.
Wait, I thought we were talking about when Adam Sessler was here to review Epic Mickey.
Whatever. Please welcome back XPlays Adam Sessler! How are you, sir?
Kingdom Hearts, yay!
It's not Kingdom
Yeah,
Hearts.
I'll do that to see how much more hate mail I can get.
Well, it's like, since Castle of Illusion on the Genesis, I don't know that I've really been in love with a Mickey game.
No, I haven't either.
And I think this could be the one. There's a lot of hype about this game, of course, even since this year's E3. It's Disney's sort of love ballad to its history, Disneyland, Mickey himself.
And also, like, a sense of Disney lore and Mickey Mouse himself that isn't steeped in that highly saccharine representation we've had for the past 30 years, which I think Kingdom Hearts just reeks of.
I would agree with that. So what is actually going on here? What's the setup? I know a wizard was painting by numbers, and he
so
spilled
it's kind of
something
the
on his
wizard from the
watercolors.
Sorcerer's Apprentice section of Fantasia. Okay. He's kind of like making a Disneyland, and Mickey gets kind of curious, goes through a mirror, kind of mucks it all up.
Oh,
Years go by, and he's become now the famous Mickey Mouse. And then suddenly this thing called the Blot comes and sucks him into a world called Wasteland, where, as you can see there, that's Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Now, he was the original character that Walt Disney created before Mickey Mouse.
Oh, okay.
In a legal dispute, he lost control of the character to Universal and then created Mickey Mouse.
Right, but look at how far Oswald went. I mean, Universal really won out on that one.
But what you end up with is a very existential game where Mickey realizes his entire existence is based upon the loss of this other character who he meets in Wasteland.
Very interesting. And the core game, though, itself, though, we're talking 3D platformer with this element.
Very much like an N64 3D platformer.
Correct. But the element of either I can create or destroy.
Well, yeah, you have paint and you have thinner. Thinner thins things out, and then paint, you can build things up, you can make friends instead of destroying the enemies. It plays like Deus Ex. This comes from Warren Spector, who made the Deus Ex series, and it doesn't have a clear good-evil. It's not that simple.
Sure.
But you are making decisions that have interesting repercussions, and I think what it helps also is because it's cartoon and it's animated, you don't really see what the results of your actions are going to be as clearly, because in that sort of elastic morality and logic that is a cartoon, you can kind of be surprised by, oh, I had no idea that what I did back then suddenly,
is actually going to hurt me now.
And it really does affect the endings. There's more than one, and there's more than two endings you can get out of this game.
Oh, cool. So, I mean, let's say for the Disney fans out there, obviously they're picking this up. What are they going to get out of it?
Yeah, if you are a hardcore Disney fan, like you love Disneyland or you love all the cartoons, every single element of this game has a reason for its existence. There's Mickey Junk Mountain, which is this kind of Matterhorn-looking thing from Disneyland, but it's filled with strange tie-in stuff from like the 30s and 40s of Mickey Mouse, like Insecticide. Because he was such a marketable character back then, you could sell something as antithetical to the character of Mickey Mouse as possible.
Right. And we showed briefly there, like, the sort of 2D level, which...
Right.
Now, let's get to the gripey section,
Yeah,
because it is fun and it is great. Camera controls and these 2D levels, for me, they felt disjointed. It's like you enter the 2D world, the controls felt different, the physics felt different.
It is a different element. You use the 2D levels to move from, like, sort of area to area of the game, and you do tend to revisit them because there are elements that you can backtrack with. They do control differently. He's a little bit sort of more sluggish. I think really what happens here is that some of the physics that are fine in the 3D levels are a little bit too intense, and it's not what you expect from a 2D
It's hit or miss.
platformer.
There's no gray area in an otherwise forgiving
there's no
platform.
mulligan for, like, kind of a slightly off jump.
Now, what about the camera controls? Does it get in the way of the experience?
As the review on our site says, this has all the wonderful things of an N64 3D platformer and that one problem that has always been there.
Right.
Yes, the camera, and I think this is more to do with the fact that it's on the Wii and not on the 360 or PS3 as I had once hoped this game would be on. It can get kind of funky in some tight corners. You're not doing so much reactive gameplay that's really going to screw you up in combat.
Sure.
But a lot of this is about exploration, and you may not realize you can go somewhere because the camera's not letting you see it.
I got it. Well, with all that said, it sounds like you still love it.
Right. I mean,
what are we
this
giving
is
it?
a highly, highly unique gameplay experience you can have this year. 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5. Epic Mickey. Thank you, Adam Sessler. Next play, Epic Mickey is in stores now. Thank you.
TV is great.
Yes.
But there's no programming about clothes.
Well, I mean, off the top of my totally heterosexual head, there's Project Runway, Fashion Police.
Those words don't even make sense, Kevin. If you care about clothing, the only thing to watch is Threads. Duh.
Threads! Ah, the holidays. A time for gingerbread houses, roaring fires, and of course, shopping. Lucky for you, we're scouring the web to bring you the latest threads. First up, for all you gamers out there, we've got the ultimate level up for your wardrobe thanks to the guys over at Split Reason. Whether it's the Mario Brothers, Portal, or Mortal Kombat, they've got tees for all of your digital icons. There's a cartoonish Mount Rushmore featuring Master Chief, Mario, Snake, and Gordon Freeman, along with a shirt mocking the level endings in Super Mario Brothers. Oh, the princess is in another castle, my ass. There's even an homage to Mona Lisa, with a Metroid twist, of course. If you're looking to power up your closet, head on over to splitreason.com and pick up a tee for $18. Of course, if you're looking for more of a statement, then you'll want to check out the fall-winter line from Anti-Anti. As part of their Garments for the Postmodern Anarchist, they have created several black and white tees commemorating the great rebels of the past. There's a mugshot of the original Easy Rider, Dennis Hopper, along with a stylized print of Henry Rollins in all of his angry glory. Speaking of singers, David Bowie, the original rebel himself, even gets his own print, albeit missing a little skin. If you feel like raging against the machine, pick up a tee over at weareantianti.com for $39. But if you prefer your rebels to be from a galaxy far, far away, then you'll want to check out the tees over at Candy Pulse. While there are plenty of designs like Yoda rocking 3D glasses and Darth Vader selling ice cream out of an AT-AT, it's the Imperial cannon fodder, the Stormtroopers, that get the most love. You've got a lone trooper playing Space Vaders, along with a shirt pushing for the safety of wearing a helmet. There's even a group of Stormtroopers taking a break on a construction girder. If the Force is with you, you can snag any of these shirts over at candypulse.com for about $39. There you have it, plumbers, rebels, and stormtroopers. Though this may be the best time for reindeers and gingerbread men, don't embarrass yourself by wearing one of those awful sweaters.
Okay, hold the phone. Hold the phone. As you know, all week long I've been promising a huge announcement on this coming Monday's show.
Yeah, but why wait?
Yeah, why wait?
Let's do it.
Let's
just do it.
Okay, all right, I like your spirit. I'll do it right now. Here we go. Folks, starting next week. Best of all, I didn't even get to this. Because it's for charity, we don't even have to blur it. Okay? FCC doesn't even care. We're good to go, right?
Yes, and stay tuned. Adam Corello will be here to tell you why we are all going to be chicks in 50 years.
I'm cool with that, as long as they get the bazumbas. I meant breasts. Yeah.
These things?
Yeah. I'll remake the announcement on Monday. Just watch them, too.
Dark and scary future.
Yeah, at least things will be softer and more nipply. Hey everybody, our next guest has a new book called In 50 Years, We'll All Be Chicks. Sounds hot. Please welcome back Adam Carolla, everybody.
Yeah.
Welcome back, sir.
Thank you. Good to be back.
I always love having you here. I love everything you do. And we'll get to the book in a second, but first,
sure.
The small talk about Thanksgiving and Black Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
What is, I really don't know what your experience is like. Are you the up at 2 a.m. kind of guy?
No, I'm surprised. Like when you see these commercials that say, you know, the Target doors will be opening at 3 a.m. Aren't you gonna just get a bunch of drunk people trying to buy flat screen TVs at that point? And then,
to be fair, that's what you normally get at a Target. But
I know, but first off, how pissed are you if you work at a Sears and they're like, yeah, I'll see you about 2:45 the day after Thanksgiving?
Right.
I mean, there's no greater sleeping day. Right. That's the #1 sleeping day is the morning after Thanksgiving, and you're supposed to be. And what goes on? Like the store used to open at 9, and then they started opening at 8, and then at 7, and before what can our kids enjoy? The doors opening before Thanksgiving?
Right. It'll be
Thanksgiving sales?
Hey, look, the parade floats. All right, now get in front of the marshals.
Well, why is it Black Friday? Or black whatever?
Isn't it retailers? Are you either in the red or you're in the black?
Oh, is that the black thing?
I think so.
Oh, I thought it was...
It could be incredibly racist. I really don't know. I haven't Googled it.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I don't know if it has something to do with malt liquor or something to do with... No, I didn't... Somebody told me that. The point is I don't like the black. It feels weird, and I don't like doorbusters either. Feel like, how'd your mom die? Doorbuster. Yeah. It just feels scary. Doorbuster.
So you're staying home. What about Cyber Monday then? Are you logging on? Are you tweeting and getting deals, or?
If they start selling like toasters on YouPorn, I will definitely see what they got.
That I agree with, because I know that there's no hot singles in my area that really want to chat. But you give me a deal on a nice KitchenAid mixer, all right.
Yeah, and a hot single is just a single piece of toast that may come out of that toaster. Hey, listen, you guys deal with tech stuff here.
We do.
Where's my camera? Over here?
You having a problem with it?
Here's the deal. I made toast for my kids this morning. It took exactly as long as it took Lucille Ball to make toast for her kids in 1953. Possibly longer. What's up? Can we speed this up?
What's wrong with taking...
It takes too long.
Is this about your camera or your toaster? I'm lost now.
My toaster. I'm saying this is my camera. But my toaster, I want to talk to my camera about my toaster.
Oh, okay. I thought you had like a digital camera and you were having a problem with it or something. All right, I'm sorry.
No, camera. Think about toaster technology.
Got it.
From the 50s.
Right. We have wireless internet. But we don't have toasters that take less than 3 minutes.
The exact same technology from the 40s. We didn't have cameras that work this way. You know, I mean, think of our cameras have gone. Right. Like, what if you had some sort of chart that said, toaster technology, camera technology. Starting date, 1949.
It's a complete flatline.
It's saddle making has grown technologically more than toasting bread. Wouldn't you say?
That is true.
The making of moccasins has had breakthroughs that toast. It's a bunch of tungsten that gets red hot.
So what's your proposal then? A butane torch system?
My first thing is, let's not have a setting that ruins the bread, that toast it. Don't put a setting where it's like, oh, you have to throw us away. You put it on that setting. It'd be like, hey, let's make a hot tub that goes up to broil, and then it would kill you. Like, why manufacture something that's more than that you can take?
Fair enough.
So first off, let's not have the setting that burns both sides of the toast, and let's not have it go that high. Why ruin it? Okay. So that's number one. Yeah. Number two, I don't know if it's infrared technology. I'm not a toast technologist. I don't know.
You just recognize there's a problem. There needs to be a solution.
The Beatles song that it took for my toast to be made when I was in the 4th grade is exactly the same as it is now.
By the time Kesha gets to her chorus, your toast should be done, is what you're saying.
Get to it.
There's
nothing worse.
Yeah.
And if you're like me, you pop it up prematurely and go, not quite. Let's get that tungsten going again.
Agree with you on the toaster issue.
Not a second faster.
Have to talk to you about the book. Why are we going to be chicks in 50 years? What's happening?
I don't know what that has to do with toast, but I'll try to push on.
No. Let's try to get there.
Okay. Well, I'll give you a good example. I have this feeling. I feel like men were over. I feel like it's an X. Like in the 50s, men were at the bottom of one, and women were at the bottom of the other, and we're sort of making our way to the point where we cross somewhere around like Chaz Bono or something, where we're just going to actually...
Top of the teepee, we're out of canvas.
Right.
Now men are going to be the women are going to be the men.
Right. And it's that kind of thing where it's like guys used to, at least there was a time when guys pretended, like our dads, if the car broke down, would say, pop the hood, let me have a look, and then they'd pop the hood, and they'd put their cigarette down on top of the air cleaner, and they'd hang out for 5 Mississippi, and they'd do nothing, and then they'd go to your mom, try it now! Right. And then if it didn't start up, they'd go, engine's blown.
Now I'm cranky that the Bluetooth doesn't talk to BMW, to have somebody there to check my tire pressure.
Right, and now it's like somebody hit OnStar or 911, I don't know what to do, I'm frightened, or even guys used to lie about fight stories. Like guys be like, I was at the bar and this guy's eyeballing my old lady, so I gave him one of these, he gives me one of those, and he backed down because he knew he was dealing with it. Now guys like, oh, this guy got out of the car because I honked on him, so I rolled the windows up and wet myself. I didn't know what to do. They don't even lie anymore.
I know you're just getting. This is the guy that says we have to go to commercial break.
What?
I'm sorry, but thank you so much for coming here. Adam Carolla, everybody.
That's it?
No, it's all toast, man.
Oh,
it's all toast. His new book, In 50 Years We'll All Be Chicks, it's in stores now.
Everyone needs a reminder every now and again not to play with fire.
Yes, unless you're changing its color, then burn everything.
Hey, Beavis, do you like fire? Of course you do. Fire is manly and fierce. It's the most badass form of oxidation. But did you know that fire, in all its badassery, can change colors and even take the hue of a rainbow? Oh yeah, rainbow fire. Oh, it's so vivid. No, it's science. The color of a flame is determined by the temperature of the fire and the material being burned. The higher the temperature, the more bluish the fire gets, and the cooler the fire, the more yellow and red it becomes. With wood and coals, the flame is typically orange because the fire is hot and heating unburned carbon particles. But we can simply change that color by burning a different chemical. In fact, we can make the fire green, yellow, red, blue, and orange, the same colors that are on your Guitar Hero controller. First, we start with our chemical, and for green, we want to use copper sulfate, which is a salt-like compound that breaks down into a bright blue powder. Next, we add water and heat until it boils. This will vaporize the liquid and make the compound extremely flammable. Then, at our own risk, we add a flammable object, like a cigarette. Light it up and watch that green fire burn. The same can be done with regular salt for yellow, copper chloride for blue, strontium chloride for red, and potassium chloride for purple. Put them all together, and you got a rainbow of fire. Yeah. Oh, rainbow fire. Oh, it's full on. Pretty epic, right? Well, here's why the color of the flame changes. All chlorides are ionic, which means they pick up electrons to form negatively charged ions. But when they burn, the electrons get all excited and start jumping from one energy level to another. This shift in energy also changes the temperature levels of the compound, which, in effect, causes the color change. You can also make colored candles by applying the chloride to string and dipping it in wax. But they sell those at the store anyway, so if you're gonna make colored fire, toss some logs in the fireplace and go for the big bang to impress your lady friend. Then when she asks how you did it, just tell her, listen, baby, it's science.
You know, the Japanese have this sacred mountain that's just waiting to be trampled on by clumsy foreigners.
The search begins this Wednesday when hundreds of athletes come from all over the country to compete in G4's largest tryout ever.
You guys can check out the website at g4tv.com/ANW2.
Coming up, lipstick isn't just for ladies and serial killers.
Coming up Monday on an all-new Attack of the Show, the Gadget Prawn Holiday Gift Guide will kick off Computer Week, and we're rating the Malabal gaming laptop with dual graphics cards and 12 gigs of RAM. Plus, Nicole DeBeau will take us to the American Ninja Warrior tryouts to preview the athletes on their way to the epic journey in Japan. And Rides, Whips, and Hoons will drop the checkered flag on Electric Pro Racing. It's Tesla on Tesla action at the Race of Champions. See it Monday.
Roger Ebert once said that he couldn't talk someone out of an erection.
Maybe this lipstick chowing WTF will do the trick, though. Might talk you into one.
Who doesn't love a girl with some class? One that knows how to dress, makes the bed in the morning, and, on occasion, whips out the fancy red lipstick. But did you know that there are some ladies out there that fancy their lipstick a lot more than by occasion? Yeah, pucker them up and say it with me. What the f***? It is, of course, the lipstick fetish, a sexual fascination with a person's lips made to look provocative with the application of lipstick. From laying it on thick to lining them out just right, the act of applying lipstick is not taken lightly. While lip gloss and lip liner are also prominent features in this fetish, the iconic red lipstick is clearly the most popular. That's because the color red elicits a sense of zeal and passion, while black lipstick signifies strength and dominance. Lipstick also has a certain vibrance and texture that excites lip fetishists in the same way that high heels excite foot fetishists. It classes things up while making things raunchier. Psychologically speaking, the fetish may stem from a person's oral fixation, which is usually developed during their childhood when they started getting hooked on bottles and pacifiers. That's more than likely why the lipstick fetish is often associated with the smoking fetish, which carries the same group of psychological characteristics. There's no doubt, smoking cigarettes and cigars with red lipstick is considered the coup d'etat of both fetishes. But for some reason, long fingernails seem to be part of the same mix as well. On the web, the lipstick fetish is well accepted, with over 600 related clips on YouTube and dozens of dedicated channels like Madame Raison and VIP Lips, whose website also offers high-quality lip play pics. Yeah, you know, pictures of lips doing what they're supposed to be doing, sucking on ice pops and sharing pickles. There's even a vastly active forum at lipstickfetish.org where visitors discuss everything from their thoughts on pink lipstick to application tips. So this Christmas, save your luscious lips for some red lipstick and sugar canes. But if it goes any further than that, expect us to ask, what the f***?
Many, many thanks to Adam Carolla for being here. Thanks to Sarah Underwood for hosting with me.
My pleasure.
Always adorable. Always a pleasure. Stick around, Cops is starting right now.